Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, back up at 'em again. Another edition of the Brilliantly Dumb Show. Hope everybody had a phenomenal week. Hope everybody had a phenomenal weekend. Bob Does Sports is out, up and running. Our new show. We're going to be going to a sporting event every single week. Fired up. I mean, the response that we got from the Brilliantly Dumb faithful for the Bob Does Sports show is spectacular. It's bizarre. We are going to be going to a different sporting event every single week. We're doing interviews, whole 9 yards. Last episode we had was the Ryder Cup review. That was the first episode that we did. This weekend, we're going to be going to Las Vegas to see the new Raiders Stadium. We're going to be interviewing people out there, just having a ball at the tailgate. What a fucking dream. I mean, to think of this as a job is just, it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense. They just say, Bob, pick wherever you want to go, you go. I just booked a trip to go to a Bills Mafia tailgate. I mean, this is going to be fun. And everybody that went over and followed the page, Bob Does Sports, over 20,000 followers in 3 days. Unbelievable. A lot of momentum. And then we go off to Raiders Stadium this weekend, which would be a blast. Another thing happening in the week, Instagram is down. It's amazing to see how much our lives revolve around Instagram, especially for a guy like me where it's my job. I don't know what's going on with Zuckerberg right now, but I hope this gets fixed. This will be released on Tuesday. It's Monday right now. Instagram's shut down. And when I go to Instagram, the only thing I see is two things. It won't let you load anything. It's like trying to view Instagram while you're on a plane. You could only see two things. I see a picture of lobster mac and cheese. I don't know who it's coming from because it won't let me scroll down that far. And I see a picture of Brody Jenner shirtless on a boat. Ask me why I follow Brody Jenner. I don't have an answer for you. I'm thinking that same thing. And every time I go to Instagram to check to see if it's back up and running, the only things that I see is lobster mac and cheese that we don't know whose account it's coming from, and Brody Jenner shirtless on a boat. Kylie Jenner's brother, Kendall Jenner's brother. I don't know why I follow him. I have absolutely no idea. Now I hate him. And now everybody that tries to go on to Instagram during this shutdown gets to see two posts from two people, whoever it is that they follow, and they hate that person by the end of the shutdown, if the shutdown ever ends. But wow, this is so much of my life revolve around Instagram. Now, that wasn't the only thing that happened this week. We are going to be doing our buy and sell segment of the program. It's new to the program here on the Brilliantly Dumb Show, but I got things that I love after the week and things that I hate after the week. Benny the Jet, without further ado, it's buy or sell time of the week, something that happened, person, food, whatever it could be. Do you buy your stock in that person? Do you sell your stock in that person? First thing that I'm going to sell is not a person. It's an item. It's a cigar. I'm going to go ahead and sell the cigar after this week. Had a cigar this weekend. I like the idea of the cigar. I think it's cool. I think it's cool having a cigar. It brings people around the table to each other to have a cigar. Usually you're having it in a good moment, vacation. It's a very, anytime you have a cigar, it's just a good time. There's good things happening around you. Don't really like the taste of them. I want to like the taste of them. I just don't. And that taste sits with you the whole time, especially if you could finish out the entire cigar. I want to get into the cigar. I just can't. It sticks on your clothes all day. God forbid some of the smoke gets into your house. Forget about it. It ain't leaving anytime. You get a little bit lightheaded after the cigar. I know people like the cigar for golf. I just can't get behind it. I like the idea of it. I want to get behind it. I'm selling the cigar. Even when you go out and you play golf, I can never find a good time or a good place to put my cigar down. My game is terrible when I have a cigar in my mouth. I never know where to put it down, when to put it down in between shots. I got it sticking out of my mouth, believe it or not, and I know I'm going to take a hard time for this. I'm selling the cigar. Something that I'm going to buy is the combination, and I think we have overlooked them. I think we're spoiled with them. We've overlooked them for a long time, is the combination between Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels. They are Sunday Night Football. Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels together are just incredible. Just we've had them for so long, and I think sometimes we take them for granted. Patriots Bucks game was this weekend, Sunday Night Football. Brady going against Belichick. Absolutely lived up to the hype. Just amazing. Bucks win the football game. I actually think Bill Belichick wins overall. Now they lost, however, to hold Tom Brady to 6 points at halftime, 17 or 19 points total for the game. To me, it's a win for Bill Belichick. He's not working with a whole lot as far as his roster goes right now. Phenomenal game, but Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels are spectacular. Sunday night after the football games are over, you start to get a little bit upset. You're thinking about the work week. It's the Sunday scaries. You got to get through that time between the afternoon games and the night games starting. If you can get through that time, Chris Collinsworth is going to pop you right back up. Just totally re-energize you. I think Chris Collinsworth is incredible. Al Michaels paired with him is unbelievable. Don't take them for granted. I am buying that combo forever. Something that I might have already said for the buy and sell, and I hope I bought it before. I'm going to buy it again after watching the long drive competition. Buy that stock in Bryson DeChambeau. We love him again. We absolutely love him again. He was great in the Ryder Cup. He was getting everybody fired up, having a good time. Now he just recently this week did the long drive competition. I think he might have came in 4th place, but it was a blast to see. It was a ball. Bryson's having fun. We're having fun. I am back on the Bryson DeChambeau train, and I think a lot of us are now. And then the final one that I have for the sell, I'm going to go ahead and sell Dunkin' Donuts. And it pains me to say that. Dunkin' Donuts has been a staple of the coffee community for a long time. They still are. I just think they've turned into more for show. The iced coffee, you're looking at about 80-20 ice to coffee ratio. Doesn't do what coffee's supposed to do, and that's to energize you. I think they focus too much on the taste. I think it's too much of a show of a drink. I'm losing my faith in Dunkin' Donuts. They used to have a cream cheese bagel at Dunkin' Donuts that would get you by. It wasn't the best bagel, it wasn't going to blow you away, but a toasted cream cheese bagel at Dunkin' Donuts would be able to get you by. Every time I get the bagel now, it's just not the same. It's getting worse and worse. Used to love Dunkin' Donuts. They're fading on me. I say sell the stock in Dunkin' Donuts. Folks, that gets the show up and running, the buy or sell segment. And now we head on over to who I think very well might be the hottest gambler on the planet. He has been doing an unbelievable job. That is Mikey Bear Down, because I told you, he's an X's and O's guy. He's going to put money in your pockets. Prize Picks came along to sponsor the show. We had to bring in Mikey Bear Down, and thank God we did, because if you've been following this man from the start, he is red hot on his picks. He's going to come to give Thursday night's picks. Without further ado, here comes our Prize Picks segment. We are moving right along here on the Brilliantly Dumb Show. Ladies and gentlemen, in comes the hottest gambler on the planet. And I do not say that word lightly. I do not say that phrase lightly. It is absolutely the hottest man on the planet right there, Sir Mikey V. Some of you know him as Bear Down, cuz he said he was going to win you cash. It's exactly what this young man's doing. Enter the big fella, 6'7". It's Sir Mikey V. Talk to us, Bear Down.
Good evening, Bob. Good evening, faithful. I hope I put a little bit more money into your pockets this weekend. I do what I can. Me and Bob do what we can. All we look to do is improve your life and your living space and your means of getting around and your means of existence. That's all we do here. We just try to improve the way you live.
Food's got to be tasting better. You got to be sleeping better. Everything right now, for Mikey V, has just got to be that much better. It's got to be
coming
that
up
much
roses.
sweeter. And for me too, because again, I called this from the start. I said, you're getting an X's and O's guy that's going to win you some cash. Something that I want to get to before we even get into the Prize Picks, and everybody wants the Prize Picks. It's like crack right
it's
now.
At this point, it is like crack.
The Mikey
it is like
V,
crack.
Bear Down Cuz Prize picks are actual crack right now. And what I'm going to do is not to pat myself on the back, Mikey V, but I've noticed that we have a hot man on the floor. I have not tried to interfere. I haven't even given my picks because when shooter's hot, you feed your shooter and you get the hell out of the way. Something that's been going on before we even get into all of that is Joey Cold Cuts. This was, what was that, week 3 or 4 we just had?
This was week 4 in the books now.
Week 4, Joey Cold Cuts. Lot of controversy, and I actually asked him to step in. We've been doing football at my house, okay, which is what I wanted to do. You had the air conditioning problem that was going on. We actually have Cold Cuts in the waiting room now. I shit you not, Mikey V. I told you this already. When that lady, for those of you, I had my apartment manager showed up to my apartment and asked me to please refrain from putting any type of cigars or anything into the electric box in our apartment. I have a patio. Right outside is the electric box. I had no idea what she was talking about. Guess whose cigar it was, Mikey V?
Cold Cuts?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was no... the lack of respect is what bothers me, Mikey V. And I want you to mediate this thing.
I will.
I guarantee.
I'll be fair and impartial, Bob. I'm not gonna favor you. I'm not gonna favor Joe. I'll listen to both sides of the story.
Now, I already called him out on it. I called him the second that you came to me, so he already knows, and he denies. And it's just, we're going to bring him in right now. It's a total, utter lack of respect. Football in my house has been unbelievable, but I do worry about, it's unbelievable.
I mean,
he has no idea.
Where's the professionalism?
By the way,
Joe?
bear down. He's got no idea that we're recording right now because he's been in the waiting room for so long. So I'm telling you, anything could happen right now.
I hope not. I really hope not, because it could turn south very quickly.
There he is. There he is. He's got a Mickey Mouse sweatshirt on right. Joseph, you mind pepping up a little bit? Could you come on to the show here, please? Sorry to bother you.
I didn't even know I was on.
Welcome aboard, Cutsy. Okay.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Bear Down.
What's up, cuz?
How we doing?
Bear Down's been great, Bob. He's been great.
He's been great. He's been phenomenal.
And you know what? I didn't have the prize pick for a long time. I was rooting for you. And you guys were making all the money. I finally had to get in on it because I felt left out.
It's unbelievable.
3 for 3.
And the DMs that we are getting, what I think, Barrett, and I'll let you touch on it, is he's finding flaws in the system with some of these. The Najee Harris over 51 yards the other day when he hit that. And sometimes they take the line away. Bear Down's hitting us out before these get away. But that is not why you're here, Cutsy, at all. You know the incident.
I thought we talked about the picks.
I find it appalling, and I called you about it the other day, the second that it happened, and you denied, and I know you're going to deny here now. There's nothing to deny.
What am I on trial for now?
The fact that you would, and I love you, Joe, but the fact that you would think, I'm going to take my cigar and I'm going to put it into the electric box, to me,
that never happened. No, I'm not. No, I'm not going to be Joan of Arc here, dude. I'm not going to be burned at the stake for something I didn't do.
It's appalling. It's absolutely. What, you think somebody else had a Cohiba that was on my patio and put it in?
I did not put it in no electrical box. You make it sound like I threw it into a power plant or something. I put it, the butt end, Bear Down, the butt end of the cigar, this much. I took it, I put in the dirt, so A, I wouldn't cause any fires, and B, that I wouldn't throw it on the patio. You know, there was no garbage there. If you put a garbage can in the patio, maybe I'd throw it in the garbage can. I'm not going to bring the cigar back in the house and stink the house up with the cigar smell.
Well, I do have to ask the obvious question: are you telling me, Joe, that there's no ashtray available outside?
No ashtray. So again,
Bob, if you're gonna light up the stogies, Bob, that's a point in Cuts' column.
Thank you, Bear Down.
Really well, this stogie that he had, I didn't have an opportunity to light up the stogie because he brought one stogie this day. But forget about
the two. No, I brought two, and our other friend took the other one home. Don't mix up.
But what does what does an ashtray have to do with sticking a cigar into an electric box?
If there's an ashtray, I put the cigar in the ashtray.
Bear down.
I mean, there needs to, if you're going to designate, now listen, Bob, you set yourself up a nice little patio area out there.
Great patio. Great patio.
Well, let me finish.
Sure.
You got yourself the putting green. You got yourself the fire pit. You got yourself the lounge chairs. You spent a full college football Saturday, not to the recommendation of me and Cutsy. You spent a full college football Saturday at the Home Depot, at Lowe's, wherever you were,
Ashley
picking
Furniture.
up all this accoutrement.
It was Ashley
Furniture. Ashley Furniture. Okay, nice little plug for Ashley Furniture there. You did all that, Bob, and if you're gonna make that a smoking area, designated smoking area, a man of your level, you should have a nice, like, heavy duty cigar ashtray, like the heavy ones. I'm talking about the kind of ashtray that if you take it and smack somebody over the head with it, they're done. You're going to kill them outright. They'll be dead.
3 more, bear down.
Fair. Okay. Yeah, fair.
But Bob, for you to say that Cuts put something out in the electric box and he's just flat out denying it, that is also interesting.
Joe, do you think that my apartment
fair background.
By the way, if you ever want to smoke a Cohiba with me,
let me ask you, do you think that the apartment manager would come to my door to lie to me about a cigar being in the electric box? Do you think that she would take time out of her day to lie to me just to be a pain about a cigar into the electric box?
I mean, quite frankly, I'd like to speak to this manager and tell them exactly what happened. I'd like to know their side of the story, because all I know is I get a call and I always get accused of the worst. And all I did was try to be responsible and not take that cigar butt and put it back in your house and stink up all the house, because I would have heard about it for fucking weeks. And I didn't want to throw it into the flower bed. So I took it and I put it in the dirt. It's not even dirt. It's like mulch that's near there. And maybe
erroneous. Is that erroneous, Bear Down? Is that erroneous?
I mean, mulch grass. I mean, yeah, Bob, to your column, to your point. Yeah, that does.
Confirmed erroneous.
I never opened up an electrical box and hucked in a fucking. Why would I do that?
I don't know.
It does.
I wouldn't do that.
It sounds a little bizarre. I mean, if someone would do that. I mean,
thank you, Bear Down. It's nice.
I mean, I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I'm just saying, like, why would you, of all places, you open something with electrical and wiring and potential to be electric?
To add on to that, and in Cutsy's credit, he admitted that this was wrong right out of the gate. Brand new sofa that I got at Ashley Furniture in regard to Football Sunday, which is big reason why I was there.
Yeah.
For the patio, for the new couch. He takes the cigar in my living room and cuts the cigar on the couch.
It was bad. I wasn't.
And I did appreciate that he immediately said, "Oh yeah, I fucked it."
Because when I do something wrong, I'll admit it. But I'm not going to admit. I'm not going to be burned at the stake like Joan of Arc here for something that I didn't do.
Loving that Joan of Arc comparison.
Oh yeah, he's hammering that thing. You may get another one.
I'm a victim.
Now another thing,
like, you know what? Unless you could get the
victim
it on me, like OJ.
The victim. I'm the one who had to answer to the door and respond to the lady about a cigar in the electrical box, which was obviously
enough eyes in Rancho Cucamonga are already on Bob. And whatever the name of his development are, there's enough eyes on Bob with his bucket hat, Patreon pushes on the patio. There's a lot of eyes on Bob. He doesn't need any more attention.
My theory right now is I think the building manager has it out for Bobby because every Thursday
he got a great relationship with her, Joe. I got a great relationship with her.
You get in the communal area and you start going nuts and making a ruckus and you're making a noise. It's an open area where everybody can see. He's jumping in pools, fucking jumping through the going bananas, and people don't have any quiet time because he's going nuts every week, Bear Down.
What he's referring to is my weekly Patreon pushes. We try to get people into the Patreon. I go live. We have to hit a certain number. I am on my patio going nuts. I think it has nothing. First off, I got a phenomenal relationship with my apartment manager where I don't think she would ever do that. It's crazy. Before we get into the Bear Down picks, what I do want to ask to keep, whether it's my house or whether it's to your house for the football Sundays, what I do want to ask is I do want to walk through. I do think the spread was up to par. You called me out for the whole water thing week 2. Totally agree with that. Totally agree with that.
It was better.
He came in yesterday. There were mango carts. There were Coronas, chips and salsa spread with a healthy queso.
Organic queso was like paste.
And then just something just to get us going before dinner. We had cashews ready to go. I do think that the Bobby spread has absolutely been there. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, it was better. You took it with a grain of salt and you improved.
What kind of a nut did you have there?
It was a cashew.
A cashew.
Cashew.
A cashew.
Yeah, cashew.
Now, I've never heard it pronounced that way before. It's a cashew. It's a cashew. I've never heard cashew.
You know, another thing I
got gesundheit.
You know, I keep pronouncing wrong. Me and Lauren are doing skewers.
Well, cashew's at the top of the list right now, but go ahead.
We're doing skewers tonight. Like barbecued skewers. And I was asking
skewers.
I say skewers. I always said skewers.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
We're doing skewers, and the problem that I had with the skewer is that
stop saying skewer.
There's a different item on the skewer, so doesn't it have to be cooked for different times, like the vegetables compared to the meat?
Well, that's an interesting question.
You're a grill guy, no, Bear Down?
A huge grill guy. It depends what kind of meat you're talking. Chicken's obviously going to take a little bit of time. Your veggies are going to take, a little bit of time depending how you like them. But I would start
by learning
here's the thing: you really can't go wrong if you char your vegetables up. I don't think, because I like my vegetables a little charred up like that. So
I agree.
I don't think you could go wrong. A little slower, and the small pieces of meat cook a little faster. But I want to get back to why you pronounce skewers.
Well, I'm happy to touch on that, but I actually am worried the other way around. I don't think the vegetables are going to get cooked long enough. I think that the meat's going to be done, and I'm going to want to put the vegetables on longer.
Let's talk to the guy who works in the Michelin rated restaurant.
I would love to know. Talk to me about the skewer.
First of all, Cuts, is it a skewer or is it a skewer?
It's absolutely a skewer. I've never heard of skewers.
I know Lauren jumped on me for that.
Never once.
And secondly,
how about cashew?
Yeah, that's ridiculous as well. Next time, grill the vegetables, give them to me, and I'll throw them in your electrical box. Okay, we'll all be good then.
Boy!
I tell you, there's just no respect. I'll
give you a lot of respect.
There's no respect. And did you see him hawk that loogie on the patio too? He was eating a power bar.
Wait. That was a loogie, or that was ash from the cigar?
Oh no. He spit on the patio. Like he was
onto the carpet?
No, not on the carpet. It was on the cement outside of his perimeter.
Right next to the carpet, Bear Down.
It was the walkway outside of his patio.
And by the way, I might pronounce skewer wrong. At least I don't pair my cigar with a power bar. He was eating a power bar while smoking a cigar. But it was one of the most.
They have caffeine.
What a combination that is.
It was absolutely outrageous. It was
a power bar with a cigar.
Listen, Bear Down. I actually had to bring the power bars because I was concerned there was going to be no spread. So in my defense,
you needed something that was going to last you and get you through the whole day.
That queso was a healthy queso. It's a healthy.
He didn't like the queso. He said it had the consistency of paste.
Yes,
that's what he said.
It's a healthy queso. It's not going to be a great queso. It's not going to be, but it doesn't totally fill you up. You don't feel like shit after you eat it. We had a great dinner after.
We did have a great dinner, but
it looked like a nice dinner.
Queso. What's the point of doing a healthy queso? You're going queso and chips. You go queso and chips. It's like
a healthy queso. You mentally feel better about it. And
like I'm going to have a healthy chocolate bar.
And part of being at Bob's is the winning streak that has taken place at Bob's has been unbelievable. Now, I'm not going to credit it to being at my house and the location. What I'm going to credit it to is the man that's here with us today. And the reason that brings us all here today is we are craving the Prize Picks Mikey V pick. Come join us. Come join the roller coaster. Prize Picks. Your promo code is Bobby Props. That's Bobby Props. Come join us. You get your first $100 matched up to $100. 100's all you'll ever need with the way that Mikey V is running right now. Mikey V, you see the projections. Thursday night football, phenomenal game. Talk us through this.
Well, I got to tell you, the projections for the single stat is still very limited, Bob, as of right now. I'm really only seeing passing yards for Russell Wilson and Matthew Stafford. The matchup is there is an NFC West divisional matchup between the Rams and between the Seahawks.
Okay.
Rams coming off a really tough loss against the Cardinals, where frankly they got beat up, and the Seahawks coming off a victory where frankly they beat up the 49ers pretty well after a little bit of a slow start. But it's, in terms of the single stat DFS, I'm really not seeing much. I mean, I see the passing yardages up there. Other than that, there really is not much up there to choose from, except the only things right now that's up that I see is receiving yards and passing yards.
Yep.
So it's a very limited pool to work off of, unless we have some fantasy. We could go in that direction.
We could do the projected fantasy points. Now, mind you, folks, we're recording this
No, we
on
can't.
Monday night.
We cannot.
As the days go by, they will be putting these up there. But Mikey V, if you want to hold out, but we don't mind to hold out. I mean, if you got to hold out, you got to hold out.
I mean, we just don't have our options yet. That's the problem. I mean, it's either you pick Matthew, you got to play Matthew Stafford passing yards, Russell Wilson passing yards. And then the only other thing they have up, because they don't have any of the fantasy projections up yet either, is Cooper Kupp, DK Metcalf. That's it.
Okay.
I don't even see Lockett. I don't see Robert Woods. So, I mean, it's very, very limited.
I actually like the DK Metcalf over 76 yards receiving.
You do.
Now, regardless, this is not a good look here. I just don't know. I didn't expect this at all. So I'm a little startled.
Bobby,
I don't know.
Why don't you guys just do a day of thing on the Instagram announcing the prize picks?
That's
for
what we
Thursday
meant. But usually the Monday night we have it for the Thursday ready to rock and roll. We're waiting on the projections. I guess we got to wait for. I don't want you to force a pick, Mikey V.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because I mean, it's like I'm not going to play to their game. I mean, I'm going to play to our game.
Okay.
I want to give the people a winner. I don't want to have to pick 3 out of the only 4 things. They have 4 things available right now.
Now,
what we've been doing on the win streak is doing the 3 plays flex play, and we haven't lost one.
Now, yeah. So what Mikey V has found in the system, what you have just been loving, a glitch in the system, rather than doing the power play, he's been doing the flex. The 2 out of 3 you get paid out. And with the flex, if you hit the 3 out of 3, like Mikey V did the other day, then you hit that much more. This is very awkward because now there is no pick. So your prize pick segment is without a pick. But what we can promise you we can do is, and I got to be honest, Mikey V, I respect you laying off. You wait for the projections to come out. We let the people know very early on the Instagram for the Thursday pick. Cutsy likes the DK Metcalf over.
Yeah, I hate that play.
I
love you, Cuts, but I just DK. They haven't been going to DK, bro. DK has not been doing much. He's been going to Lockett. And I'm gonna tell you something else. I think the Russell total yardage, the passing yardage, may be the only thing that I'd be interested in here and going under. I really think that.
What was that?
The Russell Wilson 275.5 passing yards could go. I think it could go under. I really do. But here's another issue. What's that?
I was saying, I'll tell you why I like DK Metcalf is because I think that Jalen Ramsey will line up against Tyler Lockett, which means DK Metcalf will get a lot more passes than he normally does. And they're not going to force it to Tyler Lockett. They're going to try to
now you're talking a different language, though. Now you're talking possibly his reception total, which isn't up. If I saw the DK Metcalf reception total at 4, I would say that's a great play, taking over 4 DK Metcalf receptions. But we don't see that because it's not up yet. So that's what I'm talking about when I say I don't want to just force something just for the sake of doing it.
I respect that. I respect it. And I think maybe that DK Metcalf over yardage would have been a force. I think maybe we would have forced it. I think maybe we would have.
There's no rush.
There's no rush.
I mean, at the end of the day,
people are going to get the picks regardless. You're going to get the picks regardless. You know, whether it's here or whether it's on Instagram, you'll get the picks. We'll give you the picks.
Gutsy is just struggling to get a word in.
Well, no, I'm saying prize picks might have been down like Instagram was today. Maybe that's why they didn't get their picks in on time.
Very possible.
Maybe there's something with the algorithm.
I truly think Mikey V could break the price. I have my reps at Prize Picks asking me for Mikey V's Prize Picks. Which is, they're betting on their own site.
Someone's losing a lot of money.
It's hysterical. It's hysterical. And people are following along. There's nothing to follow along here today. But again, I will be posting that to the story. We'll give you guys ample time. That's Mikey V, Bear Down Cuz. Give him a follow on Instagram. To your top left, Joey Coldcuts in the Mickey Mouse sweatshirt. We love you. No more stogies in the electrical box. In the meantime, we are moving on. Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt the Brilliantly Dumb Show to remind you that the Brilliantly Dumb Show is brought to you by Deal Dash. Deal Dash is a fair and honest bidding site. I may have retired off the field, but I'm still winning because now I use Deal Dash, the online shopping platform that is actually fun. Deal Dash is the longest running penny auction website and app around too. Too good to be true? You bet it is. Cars sold for $900, a brand new TV for less than $2. Don't be a loser. Stop paying full retail price for the things you want and get on Deal Dash. Go to www.dealdash.com or download the app. By the way, when you register, enter the promo code DUMB. That's DUMB for a very special offer. Don't mess around. Have fun shopping. Enjoy your shopping and save a whole lot of cash when you do so using DealDash.com. That's DealDash.com. Download the app. And of course, for a special offer, enter promo code DUMB. DUMB. Deal Dash. We'll see you over there. Folks, life is all about making memories. But what if you could hold on to those memories with a painting? Big Game Bob's here to let you know that now you can, thanks to our friends over at Paint Your Life. Get a professional hand-painted portrait created from any photo at a truly affordable price, or combine photos of people or places you love into one painting. We all know we have more than one person we love out there. Choose from a team of world-class artists and work with them until every detail is perfect. User-friendly platform makes it easy to order a custom-made hand-painted portrait in less than 5 minutes. It's fast, and you can receive your portrait within as little as 2 weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, at paintyourlife.com, there's no risk. If you don't fall in love with the final painting, your money is refunded, guaranteed, no questions asked. And right now, as a limited time offer, get 20% off your painting. That's right, 20% off and free shipping. To get this special offer, text the word DUMB, D-U-M-B, to 64000. That's DUMB to 64000. Get your painting today and hold on to that painting. DUMB 64000. Gotta tell you, Jet, just before we get into the Ask Bob segment, we're doing the Bob Does Sports episodes every single week. So we're on the road all the time. We're traveling, flight after flight. What's amazing to me, and I notice so much stuff at the airport, you ever see a baggage claim at the carousel? You think the chaos of the flight is all over. You finally made it to your destination. When you go to the carousel, the chaos is just getting started. Everybody's around waiting for the buzzer to go off and the bags to start coming down. You ever notice that people, when their bag comes flying down and it's going around the carousel, they act as if they only have one chance to get the bag? Like that's going to be their only shot at it. You ever see like the families, the bag comes down, the wife screaming, "John, that's it. That's the bag. That's all. Are you sure, Karen? Are you sure? That's ours. That's our bag." John goes, runs for the bag. It's never graceful getting the bag off of the carousel. You take it off, you hit somebody in the face when you're trying to take it off. It's as if that bag, after it goes around the first time, it just goes off of a cliff. You got one shot at your suitcase and belongings. That's it. We all panic when we see our bag. We're so excited to see our bag come out. But when it does, we just freak out. And it's like we got one shot to get that fucking thing. That's when the chaos just starts. And another thing, while I have you all here, I'm always fascinated with the first class people, the people that sit first class. Because every time I go to board the flight, and of course they're on before you, It seems like when you get on the plane and you see what the people in first class are doing when they're seated, they look like they've been on the flight for the past 3 hours, even though they only got on 15 minutes before you. You got one person just sprawled out in a full flight. Like, didn't you just board 15 minutes before us? Or are you just trying to show us the benefits of first class and being jerk off? Just sprawled out, double pillows. They're using the blanket that they give you. One guy's on season 6 of The Sopranos. He started the whole thing when he got on the flight. How the fuck? When did you guys board? One guy's taking a business call. You don't even know how he has Wi-Fi. The other's just locked into an email. For the first class people, I never understood that. I was talking to the guy who was on first class on our way back from the Ryder Cup. We were talking at the gate. Couldn't have been a nicer guy. Could not have been a nicer guy. His name was Steve. And me and Steve were talking about Wendy's. We each were having a Baconator while we were sitting there at the gate. And we started talking about Wendy's. And me and Steve were having a great conversation. Everything was great about Steve. I love Steve. When it came time to board the plane, as soon as Steve sat in his first class seat and I went to walk by first class, Steve acted like he didn't even know me. I said, Steve, hopefully they have a Wendy's at our connector in Phoenix. He looked up at me like, why would you even be talking to me right now? As he watched me go back to my average Joe seat, aisle 24. And the plane is so wide open when you first get on. There's so much room to do things, and then it just gets more and more narrow and closer and tighter. When the time the flight was getting ready to take off, Steve was the one who closed the curtain. He didn't even let the flight attendant do it. Turned into a total jerk off. At the gate, he was a great guy. Once he got into his first class seat, total different Steve. Total difference. And that divider that they have at first class, it doesn't even really do anything. It's like mesh. You could just see right through it, but it's almost like to put the first class people at ease that to some regard, we will block off the average Joes from you, the people that decide to fly economy. And they just spread that thing. It makes the loudest sound. It's like a fucking shower curtain, just totally blocking off the average citizen. Fucking Steve, man. They change. Once I get in that first class seat, they change. With that being said, if I ever got the chance to fly first class, I would soak in every single minute. Every single minute. I would order everything on the menu that they serve you. I would enjoy the living shit out of the half-ass meatloaf they give you. I would soak it all in, and I would get on that flight so fucking early, the same way Steve and the rest of them did. So I can't blame them for that. But that was a whole new Steve the second he sat down. Anywho, here on the Brilliant Dumb Show, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving on. Okay, folks, it's time. Everybody's favorite segment, everybody's favorite part of the show. I only say that because it's my favorite part of the show. It's the Ask Bob segment. You know the drill, you know the dance. File on into the voicemails. How do you do so, Bob? I'll tell you. 848-281-7906 is your voicemail number right there. 848-281-7906. We got a question coming in hot here. Benny the Jet, let's fire up the voicemail.
Yeah, Bob, Keith Clark here from Lake Placid, New York. Relatively new listener. My son got me onto your podcast, and I'm really enjoying it. But I had a question about soups, and maybe you've covered this, and if so, disregard. But fall coming along here, heading into winter, I'm a big soup guy, and I'm wondering what your take is on soups. Are you a big fan? Do you have any recommendation for canned soup? I always find canned soups underwhelming. It's kind of disappointing that you can only get a real good soup at restaurants. So, hey, walk us through your take on soups and maybe a top 5 on your favorite soups and any recommendation for store brand soups for soup lovers. Thanks.
We love the top 5s. I love the top 5s. I'm going to go ahead and do you one better, Keith. I'm going to give you a top 5. Top 5 here is soups. I am indeed a soup guy. I wouldn't say I'm a soup connoisseur, but I would call myself a soup guy. Keith, your son's a good man for getting you tuned into the show. Appreciate the question. A lot of good questions came in this week. Lot of good questions came in this week here. Top 5 soups. It's going to be tough, never easy. Going to leave a lot of debate, but we love the debate. A lot of passionate soup people out there. I'm going to take this on. We're going to go ahead. Top 5 soups here. And I'm just kind of pausing. I'm trying to buy myself time here to really narrow down this top 5. Stuff. It's tough. Here's what I'm going to do. Number 5, lock me in. I don't think a lot of people are going to see this coming, and we're going to start off a little wild, a little exotic here. Number 5, lock me in for the wonton soup. I mean, what better way to start a Chinese meal than with a good old bowl of wonton soup? Broth is always good, but with that being said, forget about just the broth. The timing of when to go to the wonton, the build up to the wonton in the soup, it sits right there in front of your eyes. When do you go to it? Do you go to it early? Do you go to it in the middle of your soup experience? Do you save the wonton for the end? It makes it fun. It's a phenomenal soup. It sets the tone for the meal right there. Give me wonton at 5. Number 4, let's go dancing with the tortilla soup. You could go ahead and lock me in for that tortilla soup. Cold winter day, no problem. Grab yourself a bowl or a cup of the tortilla soup. Just make sure that those crackers are coming early and often. Those crackers can get lost in the tortilla soup very easily. Don't let that happen. How do you not let that happen? Hit that soup with every cracker in the book. Keep firing it in. Tortilla soup at 4. Number 3. This is going to lead to a lot of controversy, but we don't mind controversy here on the Brilliantly Dumb Show. Number 3, I got chili. If you don't call chili a soup, you're being ridiculous, because it is a soup. I know it's not a broth. I get that. Chili's a soup. And if it's not a soup, what else is it? Okay? A lot of people are going to give me a hard time for that. I don't care. Here on the Brilliantly Dumb Show, chili is without question a soup, and chili is the soup of football. Anything related to football, especially food, is a phenomenal thing, something that belongs on the top 5. Chili, number 3, absolutely a soup here on the Brilliantly Dumb Show. If not, what else could it be? I got chili at 3, and don't say stew, because it's not a stew, okay? Chili, number 3. Number 2, some people will be upset that this doesn't get the number 1 because it's so iconic. It'll heal you from sickness. It's the most classic go-to. Gotta be chicken noodle soup at 2. Gotta be chicken noodle soup at 2. Again, the name of the chicken noodle soup you have to respect. It has withstood the test of time. It has been there time and time again. You could put different type of noodles in there, whatever it may be. I got chicken noodle soup at 2. Number 1. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going with the clam chowder, not the Manhattan clam chowder. Give me the New England clam chowder. I think is as good as it gets. I really do. I mean, to start a meal, any meal that starts off with a thing of clam chowder is a very good meal. You're off to a real good start. Talk about a soup that sets the tone. It's hard to fuck up clam chowder. There's better ones out there than others, but clam chowder always hits good. We're talking New England clam chowder in the 1 seed. That's Bob's top 5 soups. Top 5 soups right there. Jet, fire that sucker up. I got to hear where I went wrong. There's going to be a lot of takes that come in for that. That's the top 5 soups right there. And ladies and gentlemen, that's yet another edition of the Brilliantly Dumb Show. We appreciate you for supporting the movement. Make sure to follow Bob Does Sports, different sporting event each week. Come along for the journey. We love you. We appreciate you. And we thank you as always for tuning in to the Brilliantly Dumb Show. Take care now, folks.